Hello everyone, welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's video is going to be finishing up this 1985 Electra Les Paul style copy guitar. I found some capacitors for it and got new strings for it, and we'll finish this sucker up and get it done. So let's just get right to it.
Okay. Alright, here we have it. And here are the capacitors for it. They are a couple of 0.4047 ultrafarad capacitors. And they're used, and they're fairly old, but they'll still work. And the connection wires on them are a little short, so I'm going to have to solder some wire to them to bridge them and make them longer. And then we have our strings for it right here, some Ernie Ball 11s, or these are 10s, I'm sorry. They are custom gauge. So yeah, here we go. Should be fairly straightforward to do this and finish it. So we'll go ahead and make the bridge for it. And got my soldering iron hip in here, and wire cutters, and we will get this done. To gauge how long the wires need to be, not too long, not too long. In fact, they are almost just long enough, but not quite long enough, so gonna have to make a bridge for them, unfortunately, considering they're used capacitors. This one might work. Let me see. Nope, that one's gonna be about a centimeter too short, and they both are. So okay, well, that's par for the course. So. So we are going to finish this guitar up today, and that's going to be pretty neat. So let's just get right into it. Hopefully I won't have to get out my other wire cutters because I put them away, and I think I'll be fine though. Strip the insulation off on these suckers, and we'll be good. And I'll cut the wire just long enough to make the bridge. The gauge on this is a little small, so unfortunately oops, I just dropped my wire that I just made because it's so small, and I'm gonna have to make another one. No, I'm not. Here it is. Silliness here.
You believed that Karnas would not negotiate on that point. And so the terrorists demanded an outside negotiator.
Well, I need a pair of needle nose to hold them because I can't hold it. No, I don't need needle nose because I'll dig into it. I'll use my so we're just making our wire here. Oop, almost long enough. Come on.
Where? About time. Couldn't get away from the bridge. Didn't want to.
We're getting there. Yeah, the gauge is so small that I can't strip it.
You want me to help you up?
And I put my other wire cutters away.
You were stronger today. I'm fine. I feel like it again. This ship is magnificent. It even has family quarters. Pity we didn't have them 20, 30 years ago. We could have been together almost all of your career.
Okay. Now we will pre-tint the ends.
You haven't said anything? It'll pass. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
I'm there. It's going away. What is it? The doctor's
I
now.
want to have to get my soldering stand out. So this should be okay.
You're sure? Don't lie to me. I'm sure.
Okay, that's one end.
All the medical information the Admiral provided is satisfactory, sir.
Excellent.
Except for one thing. The test results he gave me aren't 2 days old, they're 2 months old. The medical records code always includes the date as part of the file number. He lied to me, sir, and I don't know why.
He is 85 years old, Doctor. For some, the memory begins to fail.
He suffers from Iverson's disease, sir, that affects the body, not the mind. Now, I've got a feeling he's hiding something.
That is not the worst.
Okay. And we're cooking with gas. Olean. Gas olean.
Respect your opinion. And I want you on the bridge for the next day or so. The Admiral must remain in the best of health.
This might be a little more difficult than
He might require your services.
I originally thought, only because, well, because it's so small. I might have to put it in the soldering jig. I think I'm going to have to because it's so small. Not a big deal. I got this nifty little soldering jig here, and use it all the time. You can get these at Harbor Freight for like $8 or $10. So it's just got the 2 pieces and some alligator clips. You alligator clip one of it in, and then the other end of your piece. Then you manipulate them together, and then you just solder them together.
Yes,
That's how you do that.
neglected to mention.
Pretty straightforward.
Seems to be working. I haven't felt this good since the last time I was in space to Gettysburg. All I needed to get me out of that chair was the thought.
Oops, they came apart. Sometimes they come apart.
Admiral, you only have to calm temporarily.
I should use speech. Of course she's your ship. Just keep an eye on her for a while.
You just blow on it to speed up the cooling process. should be good enough. Alright. Pretty good.
Daddy, I want you to meet my boyfriend Sean. We're getting married.
Have a seat. You got a job? Yes, sir. You smoke? Drink? Do drugs? No, sir. Who's your car insurance with? The general, sir. Welcome to the family, son.
Okay. Grab it with my pliers, my little needle nose. Well, I can't do that. And then solder this puppy up. Make sure it's going to be long enough in reach. Just with one wire, and it's not. So I'm going to have to put another wire on it. I'm going to have to make a second one.
In fact, Viasat is 3 times faster than typical DSL. And with unlimited data and reliable Wi-Fi, you'll never run out of things to do online. Call Viasat today at 1-888-404-5618 and get the home or business internet you've been waiting for. Get Viasat now and we'll guarantee your price for 2 full years. And if you call
These wire strippers are not. Gauge of the wire is so small that it requires my other wire cutters. I can make do, but
Are you taking the tissue test? Yep. And my teeth are yellow. Time for white strips.
Crest Glamorous White Strips are the only ADA-accepted whitening strips proven to be safe and effective, and they whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste. Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life. The chill of peppermint.
okay.
The rich, dark chocolate.
Making these little tiny bridges can be difficult at times. I'll pre-tin it.
Disease. There's no known cure. There have been no cases where it's gone into remission. I have never heard of any therapy that has produced results like that. I can't. All I can tell you is that the Admiral has been completely a support chair for the last 4 years by the effects of Iverson's. By all the medical facts we know, he should never have walked again.
Okay, so far so good. Okay. Now we'll do the other side. Okay, now we'll tint them together.
I told you I just needed to get back in space again.
You really are looking much better.
It's the new treatment.
No.
I hope you're ready. Stop it.
You look like you looked 20 years ago.
Okay, that's one. Now we'll make the next one.
Tell me what the hell is going on. Medical emergency in the Admiral's quarters. I found traces of chemical substances in his blood and tissue samples, but none of them are in our pharmacopoeia. I'm still working on alien references to substances like these. All I can tell you is that he ingested something that's strongly affecting his body.
Specifics, Doctor.
Captain, there's so many things going on, I can't give you specifics until I do a lot more tests.
Give me what you have now.
His red cell count is running riot. The cellular structure of his body is radically changing. We can't make any decisions on that until we know what it's changing to. His DNA is skewed. Don't ask me how, but he even looks younger. And Captain, there are absolutely no traces of either side of these.
You said there's a cure for us.
None that we know of. Well, whatever these substances are doing to his body, at least they've done that for him. But how? Why? It's too early to say.
Give me some answers, Doctor.
Okay, we're almost done making the wires for this.
When life seems hopeless, that's when we all need a hero. NYPD Blue. Tonight, starting at 1 a.m., 12 Central.
Okay, now we'll bring these together.
If you have Medicare, listen up. The Medicare enrollment deadline is only days away. Choosing the right
And we'll tint these together.
Pick the wrong one, and you might end up with a doctor you're not so comfortable with.
I'm not so comfortable.
Blow on it to speed up the process. And voila. Now we have a wire done.
It can be downright confusing, and that's why I love Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. They search thousands of plans from leading insurance companies to find a plan that's right for you.
Now I need to pre-tint that post on the pot, and we'll be ready to go.
You may not even know we're available. Some plans may eliminate your out-of-pocket costs, like copays and deductibles, and there's even plans with no monthly premium. And they can find you a plan that lets you keep your doctor. I know that's important for me. Health Markets doesn't just work for one insurance company. They work to help you, and they do it all for free.
Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Stackhouse. It's a new Medicare year, and that means more changes and more confusion. Many people may worry about the high cost of medical care and prescription drugs. The key to understanding your health and saving money on your healthcare costs is finding the right plan for you. Don't go it alone. Make sure to explore all of your options to find the right plan for your needs.
Having helped enroll people in millions of policies with an A-plus customer satisfaction rating, you can trust Health Markets. To update your coverage or enroll for the first time, just call Health Markets. Access is nationwide. It's easy.
Alright, there we go for one.
You can enjoy more.
And then here we go for number 2. Gotta pre-tint the post on the pot.
Health insurance. Call 1-800-418-5800. Only days remain before the deadline. That's 1-800-418-5800. 1-800-418-5800.
Put the wire in there.
Do you suffer tired, aching legs? Are painful feet slowing you down? Relieve your aching legs and feet with Revited Med. A drug-free and
And we will be almost ready here.
cleared by the FDA. Age, inactivity, or medical conditions can affect the blood flow in your legs and feet. The result, poor circulation and aches and pains. With Revited Medic's patented and clinically tested electrical muscle stimulation, it gets your leg muscles moving, increasing fresh, oxygen-rich blood in your legs and feet, improving leg muscle strength and endurance, and importantly, relieving your aches and pains. Fact is, 4 out of 5 people who try Revited keep it because it works.
I've tried everything. And nothing has worked like this.
Now we will.
And even better,
Okay, those are soldered up.
My granddaughter asked me to dance with her. Well, I can't turn
Now we'll make everything, all the wires look pretty because we have that transparent clear cover. And it's going to go on there like this, so you want everything to look nice and look pretty. I wish I had steel braided wire. I considered putting steel braided wire in here, but I thought, well, you know, it's only going to be a $200 guitar. You know, not a $2,000 guitar, or a $1,500 guitar, or a $1,000 guitar. So, you know. Okay, now I need to ground the switch to the pot, last pot, and the wire is just long enough, and that'll be it. Should have left my other wire strippers out, but it's alright. These are good strippers, they're just not big enough. I mean, the gauge doesn't go down small enough. That's okay. I'll survive. I will make it work.
There's nothing to hide now.
Admiral, in addition to your rank, you are a particularly valuable commodity just now. Starfleet is right some answers.
I had planned this for a long time now. Ever since I learned that I had Iverson's disease. Since the company that
Okay, get my stand back out so I can pre-tent the ends.
They say the natives have a process that rejuvenates the body, gives you your youth back.
Yes, I've heard of that story. It's a myth.
It's true, Picard. It's dangerous. The mortality rate is high, and it's very painful. Aliens are seldom allowed to obtain the process, but I managed it. I negotiated a treaty for service to some years ago, and they felt obligated to honor my.
Okay, so far so good. Alright, we're doing pretty good so far. Okay, put my starting station back away in a bit, and we'll get this done. Okay, now we'll solder the last connection to the ground, and I think we'll be good to go. I think. Double check everything, and we'll be good to go, I think. Okay, we have all the grounds done. We got our capacitors in. I think we're golden. I will proceed to I can't test play it, but I can put it in and check to make sure the grounds are good. 'Cause I can't play it because I don't have strings on it yet. I think we're good. I mean, I hear a little bit of hiss, but that's because I don't have the bridge on. And that's the last piece to ground everything. So, that I don't have on yet. So, there is that. Yeah, see, there's a ground wire that goes to the bridge here. And I don't have a ground wire. I don't have it grounded yet, so... Oh, man. I'll polish this top one more time before I put the strings on it, and then we'll be good to go. I'm pretty sure. I'll leave the stand out and everything just to make sure I'm done. And we'll get this done. Yeah, just another quickie little polish here. Always helps. The guitar is not perfect, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect. And my friend who wants to buy it doesn't expect it to be perfect, because it is 1985, so... Put the truss rod cover back.
H&I presents The Day Shift. 9 hours of heart-pounding, exhilarating dramas, back-to-back, Monday through Friday. Nash Bridges, House, Jag, Monk, and Numbers.
What's the odds of that happening? Never mind. Don't tell me.
Clock in to the H&I Day Shift. Every weekday starting at 11:10 Central. Oh, this is fun. Right here on H&I.
Where's A5? What's this? Try to get more lines. I've never seen it talk like that.
Breaks are good. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Let's just go to the helpline. Medicare open enrollment is now. Are you getting the benefits you deserve? Many Medicare beneficiaries are not aware of all the benefits available to them, which may include vision, dental, prescriptions, and more. You may be eligible for new affordable plans now. Plans with no copays, no deductibles, or $0 monthly premiums. The MedicareAdvantage.com helpline is taking calls right now. It's easy. Just tell us the deductibles you prefer, the doctors you want to see, and if you want prescription drug coverage. The call is free, and there's no obligation. Take the first step to help protect your health.
Okay.
To get the additional benefits you deserve. There may be
Pretty good. Now we gotta do something about the nut.
that allow you to keep or choose your doctor. The end of Medicare open enrollment is only weeks away. Don't delay. The sooner you call, the sooner you can find out what benefits are available.
Nut is in. Pre-lubed. It's dry lube. So we're good on that.
There are so many toothpastes out there.
Get a fresh soda and I'll be right back.
Choose one that takes care of your gums and enamel.
Crest Gum and Enamel Repair. Cleans below the gum line and helps repair weakened enamel. Gum and Enamel Repair. From Crest.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Got an idea for an invention, but don't know what to do next? Call your friends at InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years.
Okay. Okay. I guess now I'll go ahead and do the guitar strings. Now I need a pair of scissors. I got a pair of scissors. I got like 30 pairs of scissors right behind me. I'm not kidding you. I gotta empty those drawers out because I've got my parents' old things in there, and it's time to empty it. Okay, so we got all our strings here, which are 42, 32, 24, 16, 11, and 9. So we'll just go accordingly. Gotta put the bridge back in. Lift the bridge up a little bit. That way you got some pressure on it. That should be good for now. Now that I've got the bridge in, I'm going to do a quick test play and see if there's any issues. I kind of have a feeling there's going to be, but we'll see. Of course, we only got one string on there, so the ground is, you know, it's not gonna be complete until we get all the strings on there. So there is that. So let's just keep going with the strings and keep going. Next gauge 32. Is the next gauge 32? It is. Huh. Whoa, not the bird. Pretty good so far. Next gauge 24 W. W means wound, so it's another wound string. For one thing. Some people think it means wide. It does not. The string is no more wider than any other string. Okay, pretty good. Next string. Gauge. I'm stringing this as fast as I can because my back really hurts and it's hard for me to stoop over and do this. So I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would. I'm leaving the nut unglued and making it thus making it a floating nut. but once you get enough pressure on there, then the nut will stay in place, because it's a very expensive graphite nut, and I don't want to glue it down. Just in case there's issues. There shouldn't be once you get enough pressure on there from all the strings being in tune. So, next string, 11 gauge, and this is the next to last string. So we're getting this done pretty good. Pretty proud of this guitar that I bought for 30 bucks. My friend's gonna give me 200. And it was absolutely unplayable when I bought it. I mean, it was just a shell, if you will. So it's not like I'm soaking him for money or anything on this. It's a fair market value for this guitar now that it's gonna be done. Should intonate very well, and it should go into perfect concert tune. So I'm not really worried about any of that. These are quality strings. And yeah, there we have it. The reason I bought this guitar so cheap is because it was incomplete. All the electronics were missing except for the pickups. Oh, I need 2 screws there. So all that was missing, and the guy said even when it was complete he couldn't keep it in tune to save his life. It just wouldn't stay in tune, and that's because the tuners were loose. The nut was really bad. The intonation was off, and a multitude of other problems. So far so good. Last string, 9 gauge. I'm always extra careful with this gauge string because it's the thinnest and can break the easiest. And I don't like breaking new strings because they're new strings. Nobody likes breaking new strings, even old strings. These are brand new. So that being said, we're going to be pretty good on this guitar. Might have still a little bit of a grounding issue, but it's not a high-end guitar. I mean, you plug in a $200 guitar that's new off of the rack, so to speak, you might get some little buzz and a little hum and a little crackle. And then I got to do something about knobs and then put my tip on. Set the string height, the pickup height, intonate it, tune it, and then it'll be done. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna crimp all these close, like I always do.
Next on H&I, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, followed by Voyager, then Enterprise. Right here on H&I.
And then we clip the ends off. Oh, I should have moved the camera view so you guys can see me do that. There we go. One at a time. And I always keep these ends because you end up using them for a little electronic work or something, you know. You always end up using them for something. Cut the ends off pretty close and good. Ooh, I gotta sit down, my back's killing me. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, I'll go ahead and set the initial pickup height. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so far so good. We'll get an initial tune on it and yeah, I still hear a little buzz on it, but Okay, we got initial tune on it. Ground on it's much better now. Much better. So good. We're good on the pickup height, I think. Oh, well, we're good on the pickup height, but I meant the string height, action height. Okay, now we'll do the intonation. Intonation and the outtonation. Need to unplug this soldering gun because it's kind of in my way a little bit. Alright. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I don't hear any issues with it. There's a little bit of ground issue, but that's to be expected with a guitar from 1985. So I'm pretty well happy with it. Pretty well happy with it. Pretty well happy with it. Okay, I'll put my trusty old soldering iron away. My soldering iron from... Well, now it fell over the edge of the thing and now I have to get it. Oh, let's see. I'll get it later. I set it too far off the edge of the thing. I knew that might happen. Very good time because originally thought this was going to take longer. We're not even quite just under an hour, so we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty darn good. Okay, intonation. A little bit low, a little bit low, a little bit low. I don't need the flashlight because I can't see. Okay. Perfect. Almost perfect. Okay. Perfect. That one's almost perfect. It's pretty close. It didn't come that far off, you know. Get a better screwdriver, bigger screwdriver rather. Perfect. A little bit off on that one. Just a little bit, not too bad. Okay. Good. Almost perfect on that one even. Okay. Perfect.
Bring them into the closest docking bay.
There might be casualties. I'll get them.
Perfect.
I'll have to release the emergency seal on the airlock before they can board the station.
Almost perfect.
Stand clear.
Perfect. Oop, now we got a buzz. Or do we? Oh, that was my finger. Okay, we're getting there. Now, I gotta do something for, caps. Or I mean knobs, rather. Put my solder station back. I put it in a baggie just to keep the dust off of it and keep it clean because it's got a magnifying glass on it, so I want to keep that clean. So with that being said, I need 4 knobs. I wish it had knobs because I hate giving up knobs. I have a thing for knobs for whatever reason. But I do. We all have to have a thing for knobs, don't we? I'll put my string remnants away. I always seem to leave them out at the end of the job. And I gotta remember to retrieve my soldering gun. Fell behind. And we have just some basic Gibson or Epiphone style knobs. Duh. Knobs. We got some knobs. We'll polish up the knobs as I always do. Yes, you can polish plastic knobs. Now I have to find 2 screws there. Okay, when a knob doesn't quite fit, you can spread these tangs apart. But you have to be real careful because you'll end up snapping one of the tangs off. do that. So.
Yato. It's such a pleasure doing business with Klingons. You're so, I see your ship was rescued, according to plan. I've got your merchandise right here. But I don't see any Electra. You Ferengi. You think you're so clever, but you're stupid now.
Now spread this one apart very carefully. And more is less is more, so you want to go a little time because they're only made of cast aluminum. You don't want to snap them off. And if you gotten to a point where you really don't want to spread them apart anymore, you can put a little piece of toothpick in there or a little piece of paper, and that will. Sometimes if you try a different one, you know, the size might be a little different, and it looks like it is on this one. In fact, so much I can't even get it back off. So you try each one. Sometimes the fit is a little bit different on one than the other, even though they're the same. The fit can be, you know, a little different for whatever reason.
I agree. Now tell me what you want here.
My friend has pretty much decided that he wants this. If by chance he looks at it and says, you know what, I don't want it after all, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll still just put it up for sale. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Real careful because these are real Gibson pots. And they can be expensive, and I don't want to mess them up.
Today, everything in the H&I store is 15% off if you use the promo code H&I Holiday. It's the H&I Holiday Sale at HNITV.com.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. No, I think it'll be alright, never mind. I was going to say something about the thing, but... This knob's got a little tiny crack, or not so tiny, medium-sized crack in the inside the plastic. But again, this is a 1985 guitar, so my friend is not expecting perfection on this. Ooh, okay, well, I'm gonna have to. They're gonna show the otter, and there's my little buddy. I love that Dawn commercial, but only when they show it with the otter. It's gotta have the otter in it. Okay. Oh man, I need to spread this open just a tiny bit more, but I gotta be real careful. Gotta be really extra careful in doing that with these, because inevitably you'll snap one off, and I've had many people snap them off and say, why did I snap it off? It's like, well, you spread them apart too much. So it's like, okay, well, sorry. And then I gotta retrofit this knob, or this switch tip. Okay. Sometimes you just take your screwdriver and make the hole a little bit bigger, and then it'll catch the threads. So that's what I'm trying to do up in here. Then this guitar will be pretty well done. I can email my friend tonight and tell him, hey, it's done. And he'll probably come maybe this weekend and have a gander at it. Ooh, I don't like that aspect of it.
Call 1-800-853-1372.
Okay, I might have to use a different one because this one's a little bit off. I have more than one, so I think. Okay, well. Dang it. Okay. Slight problem here. The tip is not. Dang it. It's not keeping the thing in sync. So now I have a slight problem here.
Neither of my parents or my sister underwent symbiosis. They live happy and productive lives.
So, what I'm going to have to do is try and retrofit this and think about it for a minute here. I think I bored it out a little too much, and that's why. So it's like, it needs to be up here and not so down so far. Only other thing I can do is grind this down a little bit. Grind this down a little bit. Yeah, I think I can do that. Grind it down a little bit in the shop. So I will be right back.
Improper joining can cause permanent psychological damage to both the symbiote and the host. They were only looking after your best interests.
Your best interest, maybe, but not mine. All they've done is condemn me to a life of mediocrity. Well, I refuse to accept that. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life dreaming about what I could have been, what I should have been. I deserve more. And I'm going to get it.
Gato, Takar, it's time.
I'll have no part in this.
I understand. Keep away from him, Doctor. There, you see, I've taken the first step. Even if I don't get what I want, my life is over. So, either you help me, or you and your friends will die. It's your choice.
He'll help. I don't want anyone else hurt because of me. But you have to give me your word that no one else on this station will be harmed.
I promise. Doctor?
Do as he says, Junior. Please.
Let me treat Chief O'Brien's fatal wound first. It won't take long. There's an emergency medical kit in the console. Get it. Hold still, Chief. There should be no permanent damage. Apply this every 20 minutes or so. Should help the wound regenerate.
Not stalling!
Do as he says, Doctor. This is no time to be a hero.
Take them to the infirmary.
This isn't over, Dax. I promise you.
Dax.
I know, Benjamin. You'll do everything you can. And just in case it isn't enough, I want you to know it's been fun.
Let's go.
11:10 Central. Part of all Star Trek, only on H&I.
Okay, well, didn't come out quite the way I wanted it, but I think it might be very much usable. Yeah, definitely not perfect, but it'll be good. Oh yeah, not a problem on that. I'm gonna have to put a dab of glue, not strong glue, not super glue or anything, just a glue to keep it in place, because it won't, you know, screw down enough to keep it in place. So we'll just use a very tiny dab of not super glue, but just regular glue. And that should suffice.
Upgrade now to much faster internet. In fact, Viasat is 3 times faster than typical DSL. And with unlimited data and reliable Wi-Fi, you'll never run out of things to do online. Call Viasat today at 1-888.
Okay, I think that'll do it. Do believe. Okay, don't touch that anymore. Don't flip the switch anymore. And this guitar is basically done. I'll double check everything here. Oh, I gotta put the panel back on the back of it. The plate. This plate. Make sure everything looks pretty. And we'll put this puppy back in. Then I gotta retrieve my soldering gun still. Ooh, that's new. Copper Chef egg maker. Interesting. Interesting. I like all the Copper Chef stuff. I have every single thing they make, minus this, because this is brand new. Egg maker. $8. That's pretty good. Okay. Pretty good so far. I guess I don't forget to retrieve my soldering gun, which fell behind the table. Oh.
Use a neural electrical suppressor and set up a monitor so that they can watch the procedure. That way
I gotta polish the back of the neck and the back of the back once again, because I got my fingerprints all over it. So gotta do that, and we'll be done. pictures of it tomorrow so I can email them to him. And he'll either say yes, no, or maybe on the guitar. It's definitely not perfect, and he knows that, and he realizes that and expects that, so can't expect perfection out of a 1985 guitar. It's what, 33 years old. You know, something like 33 years old is not going to be perfect. Now I gotta retrieve my soldering gun before I forget. And I'll be right back with a better flashlight. Okay, better flashlight. Now I gotta look for my. Look for my soldering iron. I think it's close. It can't be far. So I gotta give it to the two. And here it is. Good thing it was close. Now I know not to set it back so far. Ooh, I need to put those 2 screws in it. And then I'll be done with the guitar. 2 screws, 2 screws, 2 screws. Okay, now, this time, don't set it back so far. Okay, well, that's good enough. Okay, 2 new screws. And then we'll be done with this bad boy. Well, it's a medium bad boy. It's bad. It's a bad girl. I don't know. It's a bad something. So 2 screws. And okay, here we go, I think. No, those aren't long enough. Gosh, darn it. Might have to go back out in the shop and find something a little more copacetic here. Oh, no, wait a minute. I think these will do. Yeah, those are very close. quite be long enough. You know what? I'm gonna have to switch them because they're not quite long enough. So I'll put the longer ones in back and the shorter ones in front. Not a big deal. They're only shorter by about a couple of threads, so it's not a big deal. Come on now. Come on. Okay, why is it doing this?
All day Thursday starting at 11, 10 Central. Right here on H&I.
There we go.
My mom washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
Cascade Platinum does the work for you. Pre-washing and removing stuck-on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clean.
Cascade Platinum.
At touchofmodern.com, things you've never been possible are
There we go. Much better.
handmade. Furniture grows. The drones fly themselves. And that's just the beginning. Our relentless pursuit of the highest quality in watches, fashion, tech, and home are available all in one place. touchofmodern.com. We bring something new and unexpected to your life every day. So go to touchofmodern.com and be the first to discover all the
There we go.
and noteworthy items the world has to offer.
Prestige creams, not living up to the hype. One jar shatters the competition.
Very good.
Generous, hydrates skin better than creams costing over $100, $200, and even $400. Fact check this ad in Good Housekeeping. Alright.
Hello, friend. Pat Boone here. We all know that Christmas is the most wonderful
Okay.
and it can be the most
We can pretty much.
speaks to you. Ye are the light of the world. This
We can pretty well call
the entire Old and New Testaments in a presentation you'll
this guitar done. Got the knobs on it, switch in it.
your favorite passages so cover by here. This Wonder Bible helps you celebrate the reason for the season. Mystical letters, gospel, psalms, prophecies, and more. You can easily skip to any chapter or pause and return to the same spot later. Let Wonder Bible inspire you anytime or anywhere. In good times or not so good times. Let not your heart be troubled. It's a wonderful way to teach children the Word of God. And if you have trouble reading small print in your family Bible, Wonder Bible speaks the Word to you.
Pretty good. This guitar is done. Finished through. No more to do. Pictures tomorrow. Tell my friend. And he'll decide if he wants it or not. And if he doesn't, that's fine. We'll just put it up for sale Wednesday. So there it is. The 1985 Electra Gibson Les Paul Jr. copy or style guitar. Not bad. 100% playable, rockable guitar. I paid $40 for. Now it's a $200 piece. Not bad. Now, if this thing were in perfect original condition, I mean perfect, then we're talking, well, not much more, but a little bit more, $230, $240, $250. These aren't expensive guitars to begin with, so. So I'm pretty happy with it. We have Gibson pots, Gibson switch, Gibson jack, original pickups, Grover tuners. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I must say, pretty happy. Next guitar is going to be my friend's, same one who's might take this one. the Pinky Tuscadero guitar. We're going to do that one probably tomorrow night. I want to get that one done for him. I've had it much too long, even though he said no problem. Keep it as long as you need. I still need to get it done. Still need to get it done for him. The fretboard's real nice. Frets and fretboard are real nice. Pretty cool. Not bad for an old Electra. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty darn happy with it. Not bad for a $40 fixer-upper. I'm pretty happy. I think my friend will be pretty happy with it too. I mean, like I said, it's not perfect. It's got nicks and scratches and chips of paint missing and stuff like that, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. I'll probably end this video next commercial on my TV show here, and then we'll call this one done. Not bad. I picked this guitar up from a friend of mine who I bought stuff from time to time. He dropped it off for me, maybe here about a month ago. Maybe a month, well, more than a month, probably a month and a half now. But it turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Brand new strings. Yeah, I'm happy with it. What can I say? I'm happy with it. Pictures tomorrow. Email them to him, and he'll tell me yes, no, or maybe. If not, I'll put it back up for sale on Wednesday for $200. Not bad. I dug out some kind of semi-rare parts out of my part stash. I'm going to put them over here in my specialty drawer. This little jack here. It's a double contact jack. It's pretty good, and it's probably from late 70s, early 80s. And then I have these genuine Gibson pots. I found these. These are a little bit bigger pots. They have a longer brass shaft with brass tip. Unlike the ones in here, they're cast aluminum. These ones are a little bit better, so I'm keeping these out. I got 4 of them sitting here. $500K pots. So I'm going to put those in my specialty drawer here and save them for a special project. Maybe I'll pick up a Gibson Les Paul or something that's missing the electronics or something, and I can put those in it. So yeah, pretty happy the way this one turned out. Pretty happy. So we'll go ahead and end this video, and this came out to be a real nice project. Again, this was the 1985 Electra Les Paul copy guitar I picked up for $40 as a project piece,
and now it's a $200 guitar, so I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.